cases of divorce in Nigeria is becoming very alarming. What is wrong with the marriage institution in Nigeria? How come many young people who go into marriage, before you know it, they are splitting? What happened to 30, 40 years and 50, 100, a lifetime of marital bliss? Okay.
Well, it's a question we can hardly answer because I know that our mothers and our fathers stayed till death do them part. But we'll get to know more and probably or hopefully be more educated on how to stay calm and stay put in marriage. Justin, you really need these lectures, you know.
Justin amongst other people, that is. All right, but before we get into all of that, a bit of chat this morning. We are approaching the tail end of the year, and the need to be more security conscious cannot be overemphasized. And in the wake of a whole lot of crime and criminality, kidnapping and all of that, how conscious or how more conscious can you be in Lagos and beyond? And we have a security expert with us who will be discussing with that on our first segment, try to help you start out the day. All right, we have an IT and security consultant. He is Sanwo Timileyin. He's also the MD, Crystal Hill Softwares Limited. Many thanks for joining us on Galaxy today.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you.
Yeah,
okay, looking
you.
at security, let's start with personal security. I mean, a whole lot of people are not aware. They just feel personal security is all about knowing when to lock the doors and when not to leave it open. They don't know the right questions to ask visitors or much more like a guideline on how to live proper and be more secure. Can you throw more light on this, please?
All right, thank you very much. Well, the thing is, IT security, personal security has to do with a lot of advanced security, and in our world today, ICT has taken over so much in the aspect of personal security. So what I would say basically is like, first of all, we need to start looking at how we deployment of these facilities and the kind of things we actually deploy for these solutions. Like when we talk about the home to talk about it, we can talk about security cameras like CCTV and the likes of them. We have access control, door locks, fingerprint systems. We have fingerprint systems. We have also motion sensor detectors that can actually detect motion movements in the house.
Okay, so let's not just get ahead of ourselves. You're saying a whole lot of technical and IT big words right now. For the average man on the street who might not really know about your sensors and your motion and fingerprint. For instance, now let's just talk about the guy who lives in the hinterland, somebody from Alimosho local government. I'm not saying he's a badly sleep, don't get me wrong. Someone who lives around there and who needs to know that he's secured. It's almost Christmas and a whole lot of things go around. What are the simple things he can actually put around his home to be sure that he is secure?
Well, firstly, depending on your environment, the thing is, as an IT consultant, what we do is that we check around your environment and we see what are your kind of environment, where you stay, and we now look at the various things that we can actually put in place that can actually assure your security. Like take for instance, if you stay in an environment where maybe like a developing area, we always encourage you to do like an electric fencing for your house. Okay. Now, aside from electric fencing, if you have hoodlums around your area also, we also encourage you to also have things like the motion sensors that can actually detect movement at an ungodly hours. Like take for instance, when you're off to work, something needs to be sure that somebody didn't jump through over the fence and enter into your house. Also there are okay, so that depending on that kind of environment. Now, there are some people that stay in environments where, okay, you have neighbors already, you don't stay alone in your compound. Now, they have burglary systems that can actually trigger an alarm if anybody tries to break into your environment. These things are not so expensive.
Really?
Yeah, they are not so expensive, and they actually
need to break or rob the bank to get.
You don't need to do that.
Not so expensive.
They're not so expensive. Then you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. Some of these things are less than $100.
Okay, we are speaking again.
Okay, so that is some with 10,000, 20,000, less than 50,000, you can achieve some of these things in your house. Now, what really matters is how it's being deployed, and are you actually deploying the right security tool for your own? That is what actually matters.
Okay, so let's talk about the common language of the Maygard now. I mean, virtually every compound has a Maygard who they seem to be like the security guys there. Okay, so are you saying that with the use of the Maygard, you still need some other kind of IT tools? to secure your home. You can go beyond the main guard. And you know, a whole lot of people, more like, because I grew up in Lagos, there's this belief that you could also add a bit of, you know, charms here and there for
maybe
security.
dogs.
You know, dogs, yes, dogs is even, a bit of people use dogs. But I've been to homes where you see them hang some kind of funny brooms and they think that's some form of security. Now, in the bit of this, let's enlighten people on, or maybe more of the mega, because a whole lot of them do not even understand the concept of security. So you all understand, what would you suggest?
Okay, yeah, the thing is, the trends are changing. That's the truth. The trends are changing. Yeah, we can still deploy the megguards, but the thing is, even most of these megguards, sometimes they really don't get them with good, they are not recruited properly. And because of that, they are always putting their lives at more risk by having them around. Sometimes we give excuses that, oh, we need someone to open the gate for us when we come back and some other things. When we talk about your gates, there are automated systems that can actually open your gate for you when you come in. You press your on, the gate opens automatically. At low cost. The thing is, you spend a lot of money building your house. Now, people actually budget a lot of money in building their house, but you don't really budget for ICT while you're building your house and IT security. They see it as luxury. When you're thinking about your interior decor, they spend a lot of money on interior decoration. But the thing is, security is also very important. And while you're drawing your plan for the house, these are things that we always encourage you to always put into place.
Okay, that's what the builders, but for the tenant now.
Yeah, as a tenant,
Can I install CCTV now?
You can install CCTV. As a tenant, well, the thing is, there are various kinds of security cameras. Do you get? There are various kinds of security. There are some that can just work single. You just hang it up there. It's just one. It's connected to your internet. There are some that can actually use a memory card. Some use just a memory card. You just put it in and you just plug it up there. And when you're moving from your house, you can actually move these things.
But let me understand you. Fine. They are very, very dynamic, and you just elaborated how, you know, nicely they can work for you. But what exactly do I need a CCTV in my own house? Why would I need a CCTV in my house?
Okay, thank you very much. Now the thing is, there's this thing that says that, you know, people don't do what you expect; they only do what you inspect. So now, there are times when you have your children on the house, you have the children in the house, they just play anyhow. We also did that when we were quite younger. Do you understand? Sorry?
I didn't play so much.
Played around when Pops is not around, and you know, there are some, when we know that they are watching us and we know there's someone in the house, we're always conscious about these things. There are so many things happening over the internet about nannies in the house when you have your babies and you keep your babies in the house and you're not, you know, these are risks that this having just this little thing can actually sort out for us. Now, nannies, we have to watch over our nannies. We need to be sure what it's doing with our kids. And sometimes, you know, they even just forgot to say, like, there are some of these things that can actually even be deployed as spy.
Spy camera.
Yeah, at forms of spy cameras. You just hang it up like a wall clock.
Okay, now I'm confused here. Like, oh my goodness, this is interesting. Okay, I have two things to say. First, about the kids, you monitoring or helping, using that to help you see what the kids are doing. But don't you think that is not only going to restrict them, but also would want to push them outside to do what they feel you restrict them from doing in the house? And secondly, I mean, I work here. How do I plant a CCTV, concentrate at work, and also look at what is going on in the house? I mean, how am I to cope? How am I to go about that?
Okay, now that's why I talk about deployments and the way these things are being deployed. Okay. Now, a security camera can have a memory card inside. Some of them can use the DVR, that is the digital video recorder, where you can actually record this thing and see it when you get back home. Do you get? Now, we even have some systems, we have some advanced systems that, you know, when it detects motion, you can even tell your camera that when you detect motion in this particular area around a certain time, please send me an email.
You can actually give your cameras commands.
Yes, you can give your cameras commands.
This sounds like news to me.
No, in fact, the thing is, we build smart homes. We build smart homes, and some of those things that we deploy for them, and this we have some Amazon Alexa products that we deploy, which has to do with you talking to your home. You could talk to your lights to come up. You could talk to your cameras to come on.
But can you actually do this monitoring remotely, even when you're not around?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Real time.
Real time. All you need to have internet. All you need to have is internet in the home.
And you said it's low cost.
It is low cost.
It sounds also too fabulous.
Let me explain this to you. You know, the thing is, for us, most of the time, we always say these things are expensive, but it's not expensive. If you calculate how much you spend on buying data on your phone, now reduce the data you buy on your phone and reduce the data you buy on your phone, then keep some data for the house. Do you get? This thing only uses your internet when you decide to watch.
Okay.
It doesn't use your internet every time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And the thing is, there are several kinds of internet that you could get for the home, which is not expensive. You know, the challenge that we have is that people always believe this thing is very expensive.
Okay, but okay, let's assume it is not expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, let's come down to the layman's level now. I mean, for instance, I'm a tenant. I'm not living in a big house.
Okay.
And somehow I need some measure of security.
Okay.
Looking at the hoodlums probably on the street.
Yeah, on the street.
You did a bit of that. How do I go about it? I don't have to use a CCTV, or what other form of security can I deploy?
Okay, talking about hoodlums in your environment.
Yes, and let's assume it's a face my face you house.
Okay. Yeah, the thing is, another thing, there are other security measures that you could deploy. Now, you could just buy there are some GPS tools that you could actually have for yourself. Okay. You know, some of them come in form of a belt, it could come in form of a button. You just plug it to yourself. Should in case you have an emergency, once you press it, it could call somebody. Okay. Yeah, you could call somebody. And it is something that is like an anti-kidnapping tool also, which we always employ people to use instead of, you know, to guard themselves against from theft and some other things. Once you press it, it starts recording, and it starts, you know, once the person picks up the call, it calls somebody immediately, and the person picks up, and they are listening to your conversation already, whatever is happening there, and already sending your location out. All these things are there. And
aside from this tech and savvy devices that we have, I've heard of various tips where people have been advised to even have, like for women, they're advised to carry pepper spray in their purses, and they should strategically keep some maybe like knives and all, just in case a robbery and entry or something, breaking an entry, you know, and you just have to find a way of protecting yourself even before help comes.
Well, yeah, the thing is, I believe in the use of pepper spray, but I always feel we should be more strategic than, going to pepper spray is not effective. No, the thing is, you should be more strategic, because what if you had a plan that you use the pepper spray and the other party...
I don't think I do. That's like a spiritual
being security conscious, man. It's just like you try to use a gun against someone that has a bigger gun.
Okay, that's security now for the home. Let's talk about movement now. Okay, you're coming to work, and probably you have to go through the public fair or something. You know, just your own personal security now on the move.
Okay.
What do you need?
When you on the move, you're going, well, being security conscious also has to do with consciousness also. You need to be conscious of the environment. You need to be conscious of wherever you're going to and the time at which you're working. Now, other things that you need to put into consideration is how you shouldn't just work without accessibility to be able to get help. Okay. Do you get at every point in time? That's why I always employ people to always have a GPS system with them.
Okay, let's take the case of Bado that happened in Ikorodu.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, people are just kidnapped and they're used for rituals. Even you know, when we have lots of vigilantes around.
Well, in those kind of situation, what I still feel, well, in terms of security also, we are still going to employ the government to also still help us a lot in the aspect of securing the environment. Environmental security is very, very important, especially street lights. Working in areas where that are dark and doesn't light alone, just lighting up this environment could actually help a whole lot. And the thing is, lighting up the environment doesn't even it needs less power now. Do you get? Because they can get solar enabled, street lights for these environments. Because once this place is lighted up, at least we are sure that we have at least saved that place from a bit of risk in the environment, which is one thing I always employ. And you know.
Okay. Well, still on personal security, you talked about timing and all that. But some people, they can't really help their movement or their mobility because they have to do like put in extra time. Some close
People
and
like
very
Justin.
late. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay? You know, the thing is that I've heard advices where people are told don't take the same route every day. Sometimes you have to maneuver so people don't get to know you.
Yeah.
You know, is that really true?
Yes, the thing is, security conscious, it is about security consciousness actually. And the thing is, well, when you're driving, there are measures in which you can put in place. And the thing is, I always employ people also, just try as much as possible to ensure your movement is not predictable. You should not be so predictable to the extent that they can say, oh, this is where it's going to be at so time, this is the route, this is it. All those things we put in, especially during this season that we are getting ourselves into.
Okay, let's look at animal attack now. I mean, for those of us, or for some people who stay in the interior part of maybe an area, there are bushes here and there, and of course, maybe animals like, which is not common, maybe snakes and the likes. How do we combat that when it comes to safety and security? Okay,
now it depends on the environment again, and you know, that's why I said when we're consulting, one of the things that we look at is we come and look at your environment. Now look for what are the possible things that can actually be put in place in this environment to ensure we look at the risks in that particular environment. Then we'll now determine, okay, what exactly we will be able to deploy for you that will be able to solve, to ensure that you are gone from all this kind of things. There's some people that are at the risk of fire. They stay very close to petrol stations. You know, people like that, and you know, high tension wires and all. Now those ones, we always have to put fire systems in place for them to ensure that they are secured. You know, there are kitchens also. We always there are security measures that you need to put in your kitchen to ensure that once there's fire or flames anywhere in the house, the whole house gets on alarm. You know, all these things are always determined by the environment.
And they're at low cost.